Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars. SoundCartel. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. There's no doubt that the right social media strategy can help expand audience reach for a fraction of the price of traditional advertising. But with so many competing priorities in a business, it can become an overwhelming task. So, what makes a good social media post? What platform should you be on? And is it a task you should outsource? Well, Beck Stenner, social media marketing guru and founder of Creative Seed Co., says it depends on a few key factors, which she reveals a bit later. But she starts by telling Chris Ashmore how much social media has changed over the years.
It changes daily, and maybe that's one of the things that attracts me to it so much, because it's ever changing, it's ever evolving. No week is ever the same in social media. There's always something new, but I think that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You know, it's always evolving and always growing. So for me, I think the biggest changes that we've seen in the last 12 months, and probably that we're going to see over the next 12 months, is that people are no longer being sold to. They don't want to be sold to. That's all about connection. And people are all about authenticity. They really, I guess, they've woken up to being sold to constantly, and they want to engage with brands who get them. And people who understand their audience really well are the people who are going to thrive. So it's all about authenticity, being transparent. And I think the other big change is obviously video, and that is something that's going to continue to be a huge feature, especially short video, which I think we're seeing really have its time in the limelight, and that's going to continue for 2023, definitely.
We'll have a look at video in a second, but for now, I mean, there are so many social media channels to choose from these days for businesses. What works then for a business? How do they choose where to be?
I think it comes down to your audience. You really need to understand your audience and where they're sitting and what they're consuming and how they're consuming it. I think that's the most important thing. If you can work that out, then you're going to know what platform is best for you and your business.
Well, once you've worked that out, you then need to post content. So what makes a good social media post?
Oh, Chris, this is a loaded question. We could actually sit here for probably a good 40 minutes and go through this, but I'll give you the short and sweet answer. What makes a good social media post? Well, again, it's really knowing what your audience likes and wants to consume and how you can deliver that. And I think it really comes down to a couple of things. You need to ask yourself a very important question, and that is, would I like this myself? So if you were the consumer of your brand, would you want to read this post? So you really need to have 3 essential ingredients. It needs to come down to a great hook. You need to hook someone in straight away. So those first 125 characters need to grab your audience's attention. Then you need to have thoughtful content. So that is that meaty part of your social media post. Try to add as much value as you can in a short, sweet delivery. Nobody wants to read a huge blog post on social media anymore. It's all about short, sweet, easy to consume. And then you really need to have a catchy call to action. So that is getting your audience to take the next step in the customer journey, whether that be inviting them to comment with engagement or go and have a look at your website or purchase a product. You need to have a call to action there.
That's a lot to consider. What are some of the mistakes or misunderstandings that you see that are made with social media marketing?
I think the biggest mistake that people make is not having a strategy or a well thought out plan, and often sometimes giving it to a junior in their office or within their business and expecting them just to come up with ideas and post And a lot of the time that just ends up being random content that really doesn't connect or engage their audience in a way that they really want to. So even if you are going to get your junior to do it, I think you really need to have a really well thought out strategy in place. So you've got good KPIs and things that are going to grow your business in the way that you want them to.
Now, you mentioned video before. How important is video these days?
It is essential. It's no longer a nice to have. It is something that you must have within your content. And I'm not saying that you need to post a video every single day, but I think if you can come up again with a strategy that allows for video to be a part of that, you really want to make sure that you are connecting with your audience in a way that they want. And everybody wants video. It's easy to consume. The good thing is it's all about short video at the moment. So anything between 7 to maybe 30 seconds, that is it. That's all they want.
7 seconds?
Yep, it's that simple. And I think we overthink it. And that's how people are consuming. If you haven't connected with somebody in a video within the first 3 seconds, they're not going to watch it. They actually just swipe out and move to the next. So we want to keep it simple but engaging. So I think that's where that strategy and plan comes back into play.
How often should a company post something on social media?
Again, I think we've been told by a lot of the social media gurus out there that we need to be posting multiple times a day, every day of the week. And I think we've really moved away from that. People don't have the time to be doing that. So I think if you can post great content 3 times a week consistently, I think that's all you really need.
Well, it can be time consuming, even just a few times a week. Is it something that businesses should outsource?
I think so. I've worked with a lot of businesses over the last 6 years, and one of the things that comes up constantly is they hand it over and they go, oh my goodness, I can't believe how much lighter this has made my load. It's something I no longer have to think about, and it allows them to work on other things within their business. And I think once they see the value of having somebody who's got that experience and can actually work with a strategy, they go, oh my goodness, why have I not done this earlier? How have I not made my life more simple? And they know that it's ticking all the boxes that they want, which is really important, and engaging and growing.
What about you, Beck? What social media channels do you use to market yourself, and what do you do on them?
For me, a lot of my clients come from Instagram. And through that, I have multiple different types of content going out. Video is really important, so that's a big one for me because it allows my audience to connect instantly with me. And then they see that I'm a real person and they get to know me and my personality, and that's what makes people work with me.
And when you say video, what does that mean exactly? Are you talking to the camera about tips or how does it work?
I do all different ones because there's different formats of video as well. So if I want to have something that's going to build my credibility and also show me as an authority figure, I do talk to camera. But then I also do some what we call B-roll video with type and text over it with some trending music. And that can also just be another little connection point, but it's also simple video to put out.
Well, before we wrap up, we've covered a lot in this interview, but any final tips on good social media marketing habits?
Yep, absolutely. So my number one is to have a strategy and plan in place that is going to help you stand out from the crowd and stand out for all the right reasons. Stay consistent. That is my number 2 tip. If you can stay consistent, if you can put out content 3 times a week for 3 months, you're going to see a huge difference in your results. I can guarantee you that, absolutely 110%. And then also being very, very transparent and have authenticity. Don't try and be someone that you're not. Your audience will see through that. So have a plan, stay consistent, and be yourself. And if you can do those 3 things, you're definitely going to see results.
That was Beck Stenner, founder of Creative Seed Co. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.